Hello everyone, welcome back. This is week 3, part 4. We are still in unit 7 on lesson B. So let's start by reviewing what we talked about in the last video. By the way, we are on page 86 if you would like to follow along or review on your own. So we talked about, oh goodness. We talked about using who, that, or which as the subject of dependent clauses. So first, let's review. What is a clause? A clause, you should know this by now. We talk about it all the time. So say it with me. A clause is a group of words. That's all it is. A clause is a group of words. If you have not already done this, write in all capital letters at the top of your page, clause equals a group of words, so that you never forget, okay? So, how many clauses are in each of these sentences? First, Glendy is a person who likes to cook. How many? Think about it. Don't say it out loud. Number 2, Rosangela is a person that likes to dance. All right. And finally, number 3, I want a pizza which is delivered to me. If you said each of these sentences has 2 clauses, you're correct. Let's see. Glendy is a person. Now you remember how we know that there are 2 clauses? It's because each clause has to have a subject. So what's the subject in the first clause here? Glendy. All right, we did these in the last video, so this is just a review. Glendy is a person who likes to cook. What's the second subject? What's the subject of the second clause? Who? Glendy is a person who likes to cook. Now, why did we use who? Because the subject of the first clause is a person. We will see in the other sentences that we use different ones for different things, if you remember. Okay, and what is the verb in the first clause? Is. What is the verb in the second clause? Likes. Okay? Rosangela is a person that likes to dance. What is the subject of the first clause? Rosangela. And the subject of the second clause? That. Good. What is the verb in the first clause? Is. And what is the verb in the second clause? Likes. Okay? Now, do you remember why we used that? That can be used when the subject of the first clause is either people or things. It can be used for both. Okay? Now, lastly, I want a pizza which is delivered to me. So the subject of the first clause, I, and the subject of the second clause, which, oops. All right, now what is the verb of the first one? Want. And is the second one. So just let's look for a second here. First, when do we use which? Which is used for things, okay? So who is for people, which is for things, that is for people or things. So when we say Glendy is a person who likes to cook, what is who talking about? It's talking about person, right? Who? That person, right? Glendy is a person. That person likes to cook, right? That's maybe a little confusing, so let's look at this one. When we say, I want a pizza, which is delivered to me? Which thing do we want delivered to us? Pizza. Okay, so who, that, and which always refers, I'm pretty sure always, I think always, refers to the object of the previous clause. Don't worry about it. You will figure it out if you haven't already. Probably you already know this, but this is important, and so that's why we're going over it again. All right, so if you did not write that down before I erased it, rewind the video, pause it, and write it down for yourself, okay? Now let's practice combining two sentences to make one independent clause. Actually, I was gonna do practice, but let's just go over the homework. So your homework assignment was to work on page 86, okay? I will do a couple of them up here, but if you have the ability to scan the QR code, then you can scan the QR code at the bottom of page 86 and hear the answers to that homework assignment. You see, where is it? Right there at the bottom of page 86. Listen to the answers being read right there. Okay, but I will do a couple with you just so that we can practice and review. So they already did number 1. Let's work on number 2. Okay. I'd like to get a good camera. Bonus points. Who can tell me what are the two words that we combined to make I'd? I would. Very good. I'd like to get a good camera. It will last for many years. Okay, so the first thing we do, circle the subject in the second sentence. Did you do that on all of your sentences? So here's the second sentence. What is the subject? It. All right. It will last many years. Now, combine the sentences by making the second sentence into an adjective clause and replacing the subject with which or who. Okay. I will write this in green. So I want to buy a camera. That's the beginning of it. And then, so if we are going to replace it with which or who, which one will it be? What is it referring to? It refers to camera, right? So is camera a person or a thing? Camera is a thing. So if it's a thing, then we use which. I want to buy a camera which will last for many years. Okay, good? Does that make sense? Let's do one more and then we will move on to page 87. If you need to, pause the video right now and write all of this down to make sure that you get it, okay? All right. Let's do let's do number 3. Many people shop online, especially right now. They are looking for cameras. Okay, so the first thing we do, circle the subject of the second sentence. So what is the subject? They. And what does they refer to in the first sentence? What does they refer to? It refers to people. Many people. Right? Oh, so I misspoke earlier. It does not always refer to the object of the first sentence. My apologies. So they Oh, this is a very confusing one. Okay. Oh. Okay. So what we've got here this is the correct answer. Many people. Do we use who or which? Who, because we're talking about people. Many people who okay, so many people who are looking for cameras. Shop online. Okay. So you see what happened here. Many people who are looking for cameras shop online. So actually what happened is we split. Instead of combining the sentences, one in the front and one at the end, we split it right here. Okay? All right, let's take a few minutes to look at Part B on page 87. Oops. Okay, sorry. Okay. Yes. So Part B. We've got, you see a picture here and some words up here. Let's read these words together out loud. Okay, read with me. Repeat after me. Carry, clean, give, have, help, hold, listen, put, smile, stand, sweep, and wear. Okay? So those are the words. What we will do is ask and answer questions to identify the following people in the picture. Okay, you will not ask and answer. You will just write sentences about them. So first you're trying to identify these people in the picture. You have the cashier, the cleaning person, the customer, the greeter, the stock clerk, and the store manager. Use adjective clauses in your sentence using who, that, or which. And you can choose verbs from the box. So let's look at the example they gave. The question they asked is, which one is the cashier? The answer, you see the question and answer right here. He's the man who's putting the video camera into the bag. Then it says, you mean the one that's standing behind the counter? Right. So to put it into a sentence, it says at the bottom, down here, says the cashier is the man who's putting the video camera into the bag. Okay. Which verb did they use from the box? Put. Now they turned it into putting, putting the video camera into the bag. So you can change the verbs however you need to. Let's try another one. How about ask yourself, which one is the cleaning person? All right, look at the picture. Which one is the cleaning person? He's probably the one holding a broom, okay? And look at that. Hold is one of the verbs. So you can say, the cleaning person is the man who is holding the broom. Okay? I hope that makes sense, because your homework then will be to identify the cashier, the customer, the greeter. Oh, I'm sorry, we already identified the cashier and the cleaning person. So all you have to do is identify the customer, the greeter, the stock clerk, and the store manager. So you should only write 4 sentences identifying which person is in the picture. And you will use who, that, or which in your sentences. Okay? And if you have any questions, as always, send me a message and on WhatsApp, or a text message, or a phone call, or an email, and I'm happy to get back with you. All right, take care.